It takes an act of faith. You have to believe that there is somebody listening to you when you pray. You have to believe that God is going to answer those prayers. You have to believe that He can hear you when you're talking and saying, God, please heal me. These people got to see Jesus. These lepers got to see Him 2,000 years ago. We don't necessarily have that luxury. Some people do. They get to still see Jesus in their dreams and in other miraculous supernatural ways. They got to see Him. They said, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. That is an act of faith. There's an act of faith to believe that He could do something about this. And when He does, and we don't return back to Him to give Him thanks, we're merely being rescued. But when we return back to Him with thanksgiving, we get to enjoy salvation. We've been going over Stewardship Sunday. And I hope you'll understand I chose to give kind of a concise sermon this morning because we're going to enjoy some more time with our Gideon speaker this morning to share more about that ministry. And so I'm just going to drive this home very plainly, very clearly, and concisely this morning. That when we have thanksgiving in the act of tithing, remember, tithing is an act of faith to believe that God's going to provide for you. I believe that God is going to fill that gap of 10% that I'm giving to Him. It may not be dollar for dollar. There might be, you might get help in terms of somebody fixing something at your house versus having to pay somebody to fix it. And there's things that come along the way that eventually that 10% gap gets taken care of. That's an act of faith when you give away 10% to the church. And then when we see God filling that 10%, when we see that provision coming in to say, thank you, God, and to begin to tell others that God has done this wonderful thing. That's why I love to have people give testimonies during this stewardship campaign, because it is completing that act of faith. It is enjoying that salvation that the Lord has bestowed upon us. Thanksgiving brings completion to our acts of faith. Just like Thanksgiving brings completion when we recognize that God has answered a prayer. So it brings completion to our act of tithing. To say, I want to say thanks to the Lord who continues to provide for me. I trusted Him to give away a portion of my income. And I have received that portion back in these various ways. I like to say this to kind of give perspective. If God gives us these things, there's a Bible verse where it says, every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of heavenly lights. He gives us these gifts for our benefit. Everything in this Bible, and its boundaries and its narrow road, is for our benefit. Giving thanks is for our benefit. Because there's something that changes inside of us, in our perspective, in our attitude when we give thanks. There's 5 things that people want to say on their deathbed. The first 2 have to do with forgiveness. The person dying says, please forgive me for the wrongs I've committed against you, to whomever they're talking to. And then they also reciprocate and say, I forgive you. Whatever wrong you've done to me, I forgive you. Those are the first 2. The last 2 happen to be, I love you and goodbye. The middle one is thanksgiving. It comes right after forgiveness. Please forgive me, I forgive you. Thank you for all the good you did in my life. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the person that you are, that you have been. Thank you that we have such a relationship, that you're here at my bedside, that we can take care of these 5 matters before I die. Thanksgiving brings completion to our acts of faith. And in this illustration of the person dying, the act of faith of believing in each other. So as we set out for another year, get ready, and we start getting our finances in order, and we maybe grow towards a tithe, maybe we grow to give 1% more of our income to the Lord, maybe just take a moment today and just say thank you, God, for all that you have provided, for all that you have taken care of. I mean, you look at our church budget, and there's no way we should have been able to minister these 13 years that I've been here, at least. I'm sure it's true for the whole 175 years we've been in existence. But because of faithfulness to God and because of God's faithfulness, thank you. Thank you. Your faith has made you well. To God be all the glory.